Hey everybody, this is well, you know who this is. This is Kevin in LA. So I'm doing this in a car because well, because I thought it would look. I've been kind of tired. I mean, either doing stuff walking or like in a house or like with like the fucking mesquite behind me or whatever the fuck it is in Temecula. So I wanted to do something a little different, and I would like to have done it driving, like so I could do that thing where I'm like talking but I'm like looking at other things and not paying attention and it looks all cool. But I left my gorilla clip, my tripod in the tent in Temecula. So you're just gonna have to deal with me. You just pretend like I'm driving to work. I wanted to do a quick video because this is kind of important, I guess. So I'm discovering that as charming as I think that I am, a lot of people, particularly women, aren't really digging this whole thing that I'm doing. Now, a lot of it has to do with the fact that I'm sort of like coming on the scene here at the same time as this whole Me Too movement, and where everything is very raw and everybody's feeling all this shit, you know. Like, I probably could have gotten away with a lot more had that not been the case, but it is the case, so I'm not getting away with it. Because what I do is, sometimes when I'm talking to somebody, I'll be like, yeah, listen, honey, it's not what you're thinking. And it's like, and I know that that's going back to like, you know, years and years of discrimination and sexism and stuff like that. But really, it just makes a sentence sound better. I mean, that's what it boils down to for me. I'm just making a sentence sound cooler. And I know I don't have to do that, but I do. And unfortunately, people get upset by it. And particularly, they get upset by it if they don't have the context of knowing me as who I am, or they're just getting to know me, or they're just really uptight. So far, I'm like, not batting. It's like the people who kind of get me immediately are like fine, and it's like they get me, and it's cool. But it's like, if you're sort of if you don't get me at all, then, well, whatever. We're never going to meet eye to eye. But there are people that are like on the fence, and I think a lot of times they're just like, they're taking it wrong. Like, for example, this one lady that I know, who I thought we had a pretty good like little banter going on the internet, because she's a burlesque dancer. For God's sake, I'm sure she must get much more horrible things than I ever said to her. All I ever did was write her like beautiful poetry and shit. But at some point I said something like, because I was on the ranch, and she said, oh, well, you know, I don't know if I'd be interested in being a cowboy. And I was like, yeah, no, you shouldn't. You're like a treasure that should be kept inside, away from. And I mean, I realize that sounds like I'm being like, get in the house. But what I was saying was, is she's like this perfect porcelain doll of a woman. It's so beautiful that, you know, it's like I was comparing her to a doll that if she got roughed up by the elements, it wouldn't really work. But there's that part of her that was like, you know, treat me like a woman, don't treat me like a doll or a child or something like that. And I get that where that all came from. That was not my intent. And then the next thing I wrote to her, she had a picture of her looking at like this like really chocolatey dessert thing, and I said, oh, but would she look at me with such hungry lust in her eyes? You know, and it was just poetry, you know, it's just a dumb thing to say. I wasn't like really thinking I wish that she would want to like fornicate with me or something like that. But I think from the thing before, whatever, it just kind of like set her off, and she was like, look, I don't want to talk to you about this, and I feel kind of, but you're really weirding me out. And I'm like, at first I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, I guess I get it. But now I'm starting to think about it. And like, this isn't the first time this has happened. So what does that mean? Well, it means either that I'm doing something terribly, terribly wrong, which is absolutely possible. I'm not going to say that that's not possible. Or it means that the world isn't ready to deal with me, which is also possible. And they may never be. And that's why I'm starting to realize that why some of these people, like, I don't know, like who's the guy who wrote Catcher in the Rye, you know, or Hunter S. Thompson, or any of these guys just live these like weird solitary lives, because it's like, look, world, fuck it, I gotta be who I am, and if you don't, come to me if you want, and like then you know, let the buyer beware. But like, I'm not gonna reach out to anybody anymore because you guys obviously don't like what I'm selling. In that regard, you guys like the shit that I'm selling when I'm dancing for you like a clown. You guys like the silly shit that I do. You like the writing that I do. You like that stuff. But when it comes to me being myself, you guys just can't handle it. And then, so it's like, okay, that's fine. Just go do your thing, live your little lives, and I'll live my life. And I don't know if I want to be like that, though. Like, I like people too much. I'm starting to feel really bitter about some of this stuff, just because I'm starting to feel like I'm wrong for feeling the way that I do, when, fuck it, maybe everybody else is wrong. Or not wrong, but just like, fuck you. Then if you don't like it, don't like it. And that's what it is. That's what it boils down to. But it's like, don't stop giving me advice on how to change. Just be like, oh, I don't like this. I guess I'll walk away. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop saying like, maybe you should like change the way that you talk so that you don't make people uncomfortable. Maybe I should. Maybe that's exactly what I should do. Or maybe I just don't talk to you. Or maybe you just get uncomfortable and walk away, and then that's done. You know, come buy the book. You know, watch the movie, do whatever, but you know, just don't fucking deal with me. You know, and someday, somewhere out there are people that will be able to deal with me, will understand where I'm coming from, because I am not sexist, I am not racist, I am not anything. I am fucking nice to a fucking fault. I would never hurt anyone on purpose. I would never do anything to make somebody uncomfortable on purpose. It's just me expressing myself. And if I know you, and if I'm dealing with you on a daily basis, like when I went to the horse farm, and I was like, yeah, you know, I like, was straight up. I was like, hey, you guys, you know, I mean, this is the way I talk. I might call you sweetheart or honey or something like that, and just don't get upset. And then Jesse said, well, I'm not really sure that I'm going to be happy if you call me that. And I'm like, okay, then I'll call you Jesse. And then I did. I never called her ever again. It's fine. That's all you have to do, is just tell me. I'm not trying to like, it's just the way that I express myself. It's not condescending to you. And you could go ahead and say like, well, but your intent does not mean that that's how the person feels. And I'm like, I know, I get that. I'm not fucking stupid. But at the same time, like, my intent has to weigh in somewhere. Like, I'm honestly not belittling you or condescending to you or anything like that at all. And if I'm just not doing that, then you feeling like I'm doing that at some point has just got to fucking like be your problem. So there you go. I'm saying my piece because it just really bothered me, because I really thought that I was like, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't like trying to cultivate a relationship with this woman. I just thought that I was like, we were like cool, and I like could talk to her the way that I was talking to her, and she got it. She's a burlesque dancer. She's like coming out, she's an anachronism in itself. I'm talking like an anachronism Like, where does that like not make sense? Like, can't we just like, especially on a fucking forum where it's like, basically, if you're talking to somebody in public, you're basically entertaining the other people. So I'm just playing a character who talks like the way that I talk. So it's just, I don't know. I mean, do what you do, everybody. Feel how you feel, but for God's sake, take a little bit of time and think about stuff before you get upset, you know? Because it may not be what you think it is. It's probably, if you're dealing with me, it's definitely not what you think it is, because I'm never, ever gonna be lascivious or anything unless I'm fucking flat out drunk. And I don't get flat out drunk anymore. I don't get drunk at all. I don't drink. So you're just gonna have to give me the goddamn benefit of the doubt. So all right. So anyway, I'm gonna pull the car over. Beep, 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 beep. All right, you guys, traffic's really heavy right now, so I'm gonna have to like let you go. But anyway, that was it from your pal Kevin in LA, and I'll see you in the funny papers.